Hey everybody, we are live from Las Vegas. My name is Josh Tyler, on location in Las Vegas. We are continuing with our Division One, talking with Johnny Klein. We'll bring him on in a little bit here, and we'll chat about the life of a Division One player. We are joined by my friend, my colleague, my mentor with hair, Tyler Tomlinson. How you doing, my friend?
Pretty good.
I'm not in Vegas. But hey,
we gotta live our best life here in Canton,
Missouri.
Yeah, and you live a pretty good life. So, I mean, you got his young fountain named after him, and so yeah, you got a good thing going for you there.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's all right to tell people it's not my fountain.
Let's have my name.
Let's have my name though.
But I'll tell you this: no one else has a fountain with their name on it.
There is another
fountain on campus.
Oh well, we don't like those guys. I'm gonna introduce Joe Weiland. Joe Weiland's from Missouri Rush as well. We're here in Vegas with the Mayor's Cup, coaching the regional showcase team. Joe has made the trek with me, and he is the formal director of operations for St. Louis University Division One. So he's gonna have some cool insight about the Division One. Joe, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I hope you guys can hear me out there.
Yeah, man. Tyler, you hearing good?
Hear him good.
All right. Hear him good. There you go. I'm hearing him good here in Vegas. That's how you do English, right?
It's
Missouri.
All right. And this is the first time I get to see each other. I get to see Tyler. I get to see Joe. This is exciting to see people here. So it's fun in Vegas. We're sweating, and so we're gonna get into it. I tell you, there's a lot of things that we want to talk about. But one thing I want to talk about real quick is I'm here at the Mayor's Cup, and Tyler, do coaches register for showcases and then not attend?
All the time.
So is that, and maybe we're diving, maybe this has to be something different to dive into, because I feel like we're opening a can of worms here. So I don't know. Is this maybe we dive into this at a later date though? So what do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I think that you and I set something up where it could be a fun for our little summer series to talk about showcases. So I'm down for that when it happens.
The summer series with Tyler and Josh. Josh Tyler, everybody. You heard it here first. We're going to finish this, and yeah, let's do that. Let's table that discussion on showcases and how that works for kids, because I know that's a topic, and we're gonna table that till the summer. So I don't have theme music. We're gonna dive into it. I'm gonna try to do something cool, maybe for Tyler Trins, but this is all I got for you, because I got no music, and it's really messing with my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. But we're gonna head into Yahtzee! Tyler's Trends, everybody.
You didn't try to channel Ruthie there to have her introduce us there? You guys didn't bring her with you to Vegas?
Yeah, she got stuck at the rental car place. She's holding it for us.
All right, so for Tyler's Trends this week, so it may be too late for those people that are students that are seniors going into college already, Josh, but something that's been on my mind lately is your summer planning, right? Your summer planning. So think about this for when you do decide to commit to a college. And the summer before you start your freshman year of college, okay?
Okay.
A really simple thing that you can do is contact the coach that you're going to play for that August, and email, text, call him or her, and just ask this question: do you have anything over this summer that I need to be aware of as I plan my summer?
Interesting, because you're right. So many kids are so far behind. Do I have anything to do for this summer? And you always have something.
Yeah, so mom and dad are going to want to try to plan, a week in Wisconsin, a week in California, a week in Florida. The worst thing you could probably do is the one or 2 days that your future coach is going to need you to help with a camp or be at something for the school that, legally you can attend, and you say, oh, well, we're going to the Grand Canyon that week. Sorry, coach, won't be there. And then other players get that jump on you just to make an impression, develop relationships, things like that. And I'll tell you, I may be too late in giving this advice, but for upcoming, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th graders that are going to move into that next stage group, once you commit, that's a very simple question that you should be asking your future and then soon to be current coach once school gets out here in a week or two.
That's a great point. Joe, coming from, when you're director of operations for St. Louis University, how much prep went into for the players in the summer? There's a lot of stuff they had to do, right, to get ready for the season. Were you kind of overseeing some of that?
I know the strength and conditioning coach works hand in hand with the players. So more so on his regimen.
Yeah. Now, Tyler, have you had? So that's the thing is once you commit, people kind of go, "Oh, I'm done." But there's a lot of paperwork needs to be filled out. A lot of the boring, mundane stuff that needs to get done that you may not be able to participate in practice. Until you have all this stuff done. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. The amount of things that you're going to have to fill out, and you're talking about like your housing forms, your immunization forms, making sure, and this is a good question too for the recruitment process along the way. Do you as a coach pair me with someone that I live with in the fall, or are you a coach that allows your players to put their information into the housing formula and they just put you with somebody? So making sure you understand the rooming situation and how that's going to work. You got to pick your meal plans. There's a lot of things that go into it outside of like, hey, we might need you to be at this camp or that camp. So try to be available for that weekend if you can.
And like you said, camps are a great time to meet your future teammates, be on campus, meet possibly your new classmates that are coming in. That's one of my favorite Tyler's trends. I'm gonna have to be honest with you. And Ruthie missed it. She's gonna be very upset.
She always is upset, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one, man. And that's cool. And it's. I think you had the summer series maybe playing because that is for the summer or going to the summer series. And
I try to look at it, Josh. You and I are parents. So I try to look at it too from a parent perspective. I want to be able to help my kid get in front of the coach as much as possible, get to know the teammates as much as possible. Yeah. So make sure you are trying to schedule your summer and everything you guys have going on in your families around this new opportunity of your kid going to be a freshman somewhere, and that you're not taking away those opportunities that other kids might be getting.
Yeah, very true. I love it, man. I love it. So, well, fantastic. Johnny, we normally have theme music, and I had a really cool one picked. It was going to be Nelly because you're in St. Louis, and but the music part is not working. So if you can imagine Nelly playing right now as I introduce Johnny Klein. So I'm going to talk a little bit about him, and as picture in your mind that Nelly is playing. But Johnny is going to be a senior at St. Louis University. And here's the cool thing about him. And his grandfather, John, was a member of the Billikens national championship team in 1959 and 1960. His dad, John, played at SLU in 85 and 86. His great-uncle, Tom, played for the Billikens in 1961 and then won the national championship in 1962. Voted A-10 Conference Freshman of the Year, second team All-Conference. Johnny Klein is the Klein name is a legend in himself, and so there's the introduction with Nelly playing. Johnny, how you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys. And Nelly's my guy, so that's awesome.
With the history of your family, you guys probably know Nelly. You guys are like you guys are like St. Louis legends.
Yes. No, backstage passes and everything at every concert.
Yeah. Were you the one white guy that was the backup dancer? Was that you?
That was me, yeah, standing on my head and spinning.
Breakdancing.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny, man, welcome. Thanks for taking the time. I know you were in. This is finals week for you, correct?
It is. Yep. Just started.
Yeah.
It was stop day yesterday, so finals are just starting up.
Well, let's start with that question then. If we're talking about finals, how does right now as a Division I athlete is how are finals? What does finals week look like? Or so? I mean, I'm sure it's way actually different than high school. So what do the finals look like for a Division I athlete?
Yeah. So there's classes all the way up until yesterday, and then it's called stop day. So there's no classes or anything, and there's no classes from here on out. But you will just have your exams at random times that your teachers give you. So, for instance, I got an exam at 2:00 tomorrow. It's open from 2 to 3:30. I just have to complete it then. So it's not like in high school where you're going from block to block on normal days, and you'll be taking your finals. It kind of just shuts down, and since they're difficult finals, you need to study a lot for them. You'll have a lot of time on your hands, and it's just about managing which classes you need to prioritize to just keep your GPA where it needs to be at.
How have finals changed? Because you're going to be you're a junior right now, but how have finals changed with COVID from the previous years? So you've been through a normal collegiate season. Now we had obviously the COVID shenanigans. How are finals different this year for you?
Right, they've been vastly different. Nothing in person, so I haven't taken any tests or any finals in seat this entire year. A lot of presentations and stuff that you have to record on Zoom and submit to your teacher via email. So essentially everything is just online, and you'll use a lockdown browser where the computer's looking at you. And if you look away or you're looking at your phone or something, it'll flag it and it'll tell the teacher, there could be a cheating instance or an academic integrity problem within it. So it's very different, a little bit difficult, but we've all adjusted pretty well to it.
Can we go back to the lockdown browser? So you're taking the test with the webcam, and it's looking. And if I do this and look down, imagine, I know Johnny can't see me, but I just looked away. But you look away, and it triggers something, so a teacher knows you may have just cheated.
Right. It'll warn you. It'll say that was a flag. And then
warning, you're cheating. I know. Quit telling people.
right. No, but yeah, you have to download the software onto your computer, and then it's pretty tight on stuff like that. So no one's getting away with anything. Yeah.
Josh Tyler, and I wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have made it. Josh,
I know.
We're communication majors for a reason.
Yeah. Hey, these aren't tattoos. These are just marks from my cheating on tests. Yeah. 1862 Columbus. That's insane, man. That's insane.
Good technology.
Yeah, for sure, man. You're right, Joe. Yeah, it is. It's so then you got finals. I know that wasn't really the topic. I don't think too many kids care about finals. So I kind of want to start about Division I, and you jumped. And first of all, how was what was the biggest surprise from high school and club to Division I SLU soccer?
In terms of playing, I think the biggest thing is just the intensity that everyone trains with day in and day out. A lot of kids will probably be the best player on their team on an off day in a high school. You can take a few days off. You're still the top player. Coach is still going to play. You're still going to be in the lineup or in the 18 or whatever it is. But in Division I at SLU, if you have a string together a few bad sessions, you could not travel that weekend. You can lose your spot in the lineup. So it's really just a mentality of coming every single day and earning the spot that you came in for.
Is that so the constant battle that was there time? I mean, because you played 15 out of 17 games, I think, your freshman year, and was rookie of the year. I mean, what kind of prep did you have to do to make sure that you didn't get left behind on the bus?
I think the most important part is just controlling what you can control. And when I look at it, the one thing that guys can always control is their fitness level. During the summer, when I came into college, we knew we were going to run the beep test when we came in, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be top 5 on the beep test. I'm going to let this coach know that, like, I'm not messing around. I'm here for a spot. And so it's really just about controlling what you can control. I think on the field, you'll go through rough patches. You won't be as sharp as you can be. You won't be as clean on the ball as you would have liked that game. But it's really just about the mentality of being aggressive, being fearless, and just being fit, and being able to play the style of soccer that your coach wants you to play.
Interesting. So you're A10 conference freshman of the year. How much prep did you go? And I know Tyler's Trends was talking about getting ready for, coming into your freshman year. How much prep did you do in the off season prior to college that led to you being a freshman of the year?
It was a lot. I mean, 2 months out, I was already starting to think, okay, preseason's right around the corner. I need to stay on the ball. I need to keep running, keep doing those things. I mean, I can remember my family went on vacation 2 weeks before preseason. We went to the beach, and I just remember doing like shuttles and runs on the beach because, a week off of anything, you're going to lose ground to the guys that are coming in who already have spots. So it starts, I would say, two months out from when we report. I know Kalish was showing us a slide the other day. It was 89 days till preseason. And I looked at that and I was like, wow, like I need to start thinking about it a little bit. I mean, because our season wound down and I've been taking some days off, but it's never too early to really just get back on the horse and start climbing the mountains. So
very nice.
Yeah. So in your selection process, I'll bring something up that I think a lot of players are going through in their decision-making process. And for you, a lot of family has been through SLU, and there was the heritage of your family going to SLU. So when you think of a lot of players that are going through the selection process, mom or dad might be pressuring them, maybe or maybe not. But there's always that little lean. Maybe you should check out the school I went to. Maybe you should play there. How do you advise someone to navigate that to where their family has history at that school or their parents went to that school? And how do you think it should affect a kid's recruiting decision?
This one hits home for Tyler.
Yeah, it does.
No, that's a good question. At the end of the day, it's really just about, does the player see themselves staying there for 4 years and enjoying their time? At that point, it's a little bit more than soccer. Of course, soccer is a big, obviously that's what everyone, we're going to school, we want to play soccer, but if you can't see yourself staying there for 4 years and enjoying your time, whether it's the location of it, whether it's the academic side of it, if you don't think you're getting enough out of it, the player's got to make the ultimate decision. And then in terms of soccer, you should never go to a certain school based on a feeling of your parents, obviously, but you want to make sure that you fit in with how that team's playing. I know I looked at a few schools and the coaches, it's good to watch when you're in high school. It's good to watch college games and see how teams play. I mean, I'm 5'7", and I played at 138 this year. If I went to a school that just played extremely direct and kicked the ball over my head, I wouldn't be getting much out of this. So as much as you want to like see your parents, go to their school, it's really about how the player can adjust to the team and the location of the school.
What a really good piece of advice there, Josh, and the fact that he's stressing to make sure you watch the teams play games. I guarantee you this happens a lot, to where kids, go to the school because of the school, right? Or because of the coach, or because of this, and don't have any idea of, am I going to be able to even play at this level? Well, do I see myself on the field? Do I have an opportunity? Do they play my style that fits me? Like Johnny said, like that's a great indicator of how you can be more successful and not have to think about making a poor decision at some point.
Tyler, so you asked
the question.
Sorry, I know, but you asked this question because, and I'll give you some background. Tyler has his own fountain at Culver. Culver Stock is, I think, going to be renamed to Culver Tomlinson. But Tyler is what you call, same as you, John. Tyler's a legacy there. Your dad went there. And so you asked that question because, I'm sure that weighed heavily on you when you made a decision to go to college too, right?
Well, it did. I actually, and I don't know if Johnny did this or not, I rebelled against it for a little bit, just because of that fact. So I think a lot of kids go through that mentality. And so sometimes it's an all or nothing mentality. And I know a lot of kids are going through that. I really liked the answer of narrowing it down that way. So let's talk then about what other factors for you personally, what were the things that stood out about the school and the soccer program that eventually made you decide to choose SLU?
Yeah, honestly, my dad, he really didn't pressure me into anything. He wanted me to take in all the options, and I didn't commit until I was in April of my senior year. So I committed extremely late. Not that I was putting it off necessarily, but SLU hadn't really approached me because there was a coaching change. So I was kind of in a weird situation. And I think deep down, I knew I always wanted to go to SLU because I love the city of St. Louis. I love the campus that it's in the city, and the academic aspect was really good. And then obviously the scholarship piece is just a huge part of it for any family. So those four reasons are the main reasons I did it for myself. And then the legacy was just kind of the cherry on top. My grandpa gets to see me play every game. My dad can come in and see me, and I have, relatives that live here too. But those first four, scholarship, the campus, the academic piece, and then just the soccer, those are the things you just have to weigh when you're trying to make a decision.
So how much fitness are you doing? You talked about this. One thing you can control is being fit. Dive a little more into that fitness piece. And I know you mentioned the beep test, but dive more into the level of fitness that is required for you at the Division I level.
Yeah, this year it ramped even more. Just the style that we tried to play. We tried to high press teams and just go at them. And you just have to, everyone knows who plays soccer. Soccer fitness is just, it's not the same as going out for a stroll in the park. You got to kind of make your own plan of how you're going to get game fitness if you can't get games. I'm fortunate enough this summer to be able to be getting games in the USL2 with St. Louis Scott Gallagher. But if guys can't do that, they need to be doing like sprints on probably multiple days a week. And then maybe the other days it is a longer endurance run. But you kind of have to, I know now I've kind of figured out my body enough to where I know, okay, these days it's high intensity sprints. These days it's longer endurance runs. And I just think it's important to combine the two because soccer is just a game of all of it, So you just kind of have to learn your body and just be able to push it as hard as you can.
Do you have is your summer and off season guided from the coaching staff? Like, do you have a fitness packet or anything?
Yeah, we do. Our strength coach, Rob Hornet, is awesome. He's gave us all the packets about a week ago and stuff. And they're very detailed of what days your longer distance or short endurance runs.
Right.
What a great strength and conditioning name, Hornet. Like, that is just a cool name.
Yeah, he worked with the Golden State Warriors. He's awesome.
That's
Wow.
nice.
Wow, that's a really good. So Johnny, looking back, what advice do you give to sophomores, juniors, and possibly even seniors that are kind of like me that are wanting to play Division One? What's a couple pieces of advice that you can give to them?
I think it's important to be proactive in the process. You need to be reaching out to people. A lot of these coaches aren't going to pursue that many players. Of course, some of them will catch a few guys who are unbelievable players. But for a majority of D1 players, you're going to have to make the first move. You're going to have to reach out to them. And that all starts with just a solid video. I never made a really good highlight video, and I regret it to this day because coaches all over the country get hundreds and hundreds of videos. But if you have a good GPA, a good highlight clip at a decent level, and you send it to a coach, odds are they'll take a look. And if that video is good enough to just catch their eye for a split second, they'll probably hit your line back. So I think it's just important to be proactive in the process and really reach out instead of sitting around waiting. And I think that's why I committed so late is because I thought, oh, I'm good enough. They'll come find me. Well, there's thousands of other kids that they're looking at as well.
Well, that is huge. Oh, sorry, Tyler. Hang on. And we'll move the topic there. But what a huge advice that you just said is that they didn't come knocking on your door, because I think that is a huge misconception of people, and I think it's even more so Division One. But they say, "Oh, yeah. I'm going to sit back. I'm a good player. I'm going to sit back, and Stanford's going to call me and give me $100,000 a year, and I'm going to play soccer. And where's my limo?" And so, I mean, for someone like for you, you grew up in soccer. Your family is soccer, and you're, a freshman of the year, so you're a heck of a player, and you still think you didn't do enough to reach out. That's huge advice. I think that's I'm so glad that you said that. It's what great hindsight and great advice that you have for those kids. Sorry, Tyler.
No, I think it's great. I can use that, and I'm like, hey, the A10 freshman of the year had to be proactive. You got to be proactive.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good advice for incoming players. So was there a moment that you knew you could play D1 before you actually showed up and played there? Like in your brain as a club player and high school player, was there this moment that like I can do this, I can play D1? And were there doubters? Were there people that like, you can't do that?
Yeah, I kind of always knew. I think just with my play, I was just always really confident in myself. There were for sure doubts. I'm not a big kid. I won't catch your eye with size on the field, but with how hard I worked and just how I feel I buzz around the field, I thought, okay, enough people will see me to where I will be able to play at a Division I school. I think there were a lot of coaches who did doubt me. I know I reached out to a few. They did come to the games, and I never heard from them again. And in the back of my mind, I still think, okay, well, they missed out on me, whatever. But it all happens for a reason. I think it helped me. It just kind of fueled me a little bit. I don't think there was a specific moment. I just think I was always confident enough in my game to where I thought, I knew I could do it.
Have you played against those coaches that came to watch you play and didn't call back?
I don't think so. There was only a few, and I think it was at like a Florida showcase or something. I don't think I've played their schools, no.
So kind of follow-up question back, still kind of on the recruitment and to help kids kind of grasp this. So again, Division I, high level. How many schools? How many Division I schools were after you? Were you getting flooded with Division I emails, or is it kind of what was that? What did that look like for you?
I wouldn't say flooded. I did, have a few decent options, but there's a difference between someone really wanting you and kind of just talking to you, hoping that you'll either walk on or be able to pay the entire thing and just be a part of the team. And I could kind of sense that. I personally didn't want to go somewhere where I was, the last option, where they didn't value me. And I had a few that really did value me, and those were kind of at the top of my radar. And the others, they were there, and to be honest, they were bigger schools, and I was like, wow, it'd be cool to go there. But at the end of the day, I didn't think they valued me enough to pull the trigger on those.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. And a lot of this is, I mean, really mature advice that you're looking back at, and maybe it's helpful that you had the pedigree of people in your family that played soccer, but it's really mature advice, man. This is some of the best advice from a current player that I mean, I have heard. I don't speak for Tyler, but it's been fantastic, man.
Yeah, I think for me, one of the best things that I've got so far from Johnny is his self-awareness, right? I think that's really important that other kids right now can pick up on, right? Knowing his confidence in his play, knowing where he could fit in as far as a soccer player, like, hey, I could play D1. Then having the self-awareness to be like, well, I have to pick the right school because I want it to fit my style of play. So I had to watch teams play. And then the last self-awareness, as a college coach, is kind of interesting to hear. He wasn't going to be the bargain kid. That's kind of what was going through my mind. Like, hey, you think we can get Johnny for a bargain and then go get some other players and then he'll be really good, but we didn't have to, give him as much money. He didn't want to be the bargain kid. He wanted to be the kid that was valued and said, like, hey, we want you to come in and play and help us out. So I think what I really like, Johnny, from you is you have a high level of self-awareness, which I think, probably shows to you as a soccer player. Do you evaluate yourself? Are you hard on yourself? Do you watch yourself play a lot and try to get a lot out of it when you watch film and reflect?
Yeah, definitely. At SLU, we have these things. They're called IDPs, Individual Development Plan. And it's basically just a sheet with your short-term goals, your long-term goals, and then all your strengths and weaknesses. And it's just a document that we share with the coaches. The coaches, we compare and reflect, and we look at, all right, this is what you need to do better next season. This is what you did well, and so on. And so I think, like you said, the self-awareness as a player is just really important because it allows you to be real with yourself of what you need to get better at and not put those things off. Because I think a lot of players, when they think, all right, my ball striking's not great. All right, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Just push things off. You gotta just confront the brutal facts with it and be real with yourself if you really want to develop as a player.
It's funny. Joe and I just talked about on Klein today. Actually, is about helping kids understand their strengths and their weaknesses. And so, having you say that it's a thing that I think kids struggle with, and I think parents struggle with it as well, of knowing their kids' strengths and weaknesses. But I think it's like I said, it's funny. Joe and I just had that conversation today, and it's such a vital part of a player development to know, here's what I'm good at, here's what I'm not good at, and here's what I need to improve at. And that's great insight. So this is where we play the exit music. But if there's, Tyler, anything else to add, or Johnny, we'll give you the last word of one sentence advice to give to players here. You got 10 seconds, man.
Yeah, I think the two things I learned from Johnny first before we let him go off is self-awareness and proactive. I think those are two really huge things that recruits now can pick up on from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, last thing I would just say is just same thing with self-awareness. Just have a clear identity of who you are and stick with it, because that's what coaches will want. They want the player that they know and not someone else who's trying to be someone else. So.
Johnny, thanks so much, man. This has been Cap Chat live from the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Next week, we'll continue our player stories and player series, diving into NAIA and hearing that from a player perspective. And then we're going to head over to JUCO and then we're going to take a little breather and head into Tyler's summer series. It's going to be fun. It's going to be random. It's going to be chaotic. So it's going to be fun. Thanks for joining us, for all of us here. Tyler, and congratulations on the Tyler Tomlinson Award behind you. I'm really proud of you for winning that. So, but everyone, thanks for joining. And this has been Cap Chat.